When we listen to Jeremy Corbyn attack Boris Johnson about the shortages of space within the NHS system, we have Jeremy Corbyn openly admitting the failure of being in the EU. But the problem with the left, they never join the dots. They can ramble on and attack and insult our intelligence, but they never make any sense because they live in a thought bubble within a limited paradigm they've created for themselves. They can no longer rise out of, and that's why they're failing all over the world. They can no longer adapt a new paradigm or adapt a new idea because they're stuck within the thought process, the limitations of the Marxist thinking that they have. Marxists are thinking that nothing can happen beyond this level of thinking. Only those they say are experts are experts. The thing about what they've done with the EU and Angela Merkel and all these people, semi-humans I call them, act without thinking, never question, just carry on regardless because it doesn't affect you personally, whatever happens. And that's the EU ignoring the consequences of letting endless numbers of immigrants into Britain because of the welfare system which they're attracted to, which is now overwhelming the NHS, was done categorically on purpose as a means to cripple Britain and to cripple the democratic systems of the West, because they've tried to do the same in Australia to bring untold number of migrants into a country with a limited amount of hospital systems and a limited amount of financing, because there's always limitation on how much money there is to go around to any particular service. But when you flood it, it's not by natural gain of the births within the country. When you're adding thousands and thousands and millions of migrants to a country, they're not producing. They might be adding to the economy because they get paid welfare and social service, so they may add to the economy, but they do not add to the productivity, and therefore there's always a shortfall in revenue, so it has to be borrowed. And this is a problem. What has occurred due to the EU, a very fundamental, intrinsic concern of the British people and any sensible person, regardless what colour or race they are, is that if you're going to overwhelm the very system that supports you, the NHS, which is the most fundamental part of it, free healthcare, by how many people you bring into the country, and then start blaming those people who want to exit the system, what's causing this, that means, in fact, Jeremy Corbyn is one of the biggest hypocrites I've ever seen in all of my life. I don't know Jeremy Corbyn. I mean, I don't know him personally. I can only make my observations from afar. I've only got this much to say to him. Jeremy Corbyn, you're one of the most despicably sneaky and dishonest men I've ever witnessed in my entire life. As a Labour man, as a real Labour person, as a real Labour person of the old school, I'm ashamed of the likes of Corbyn and all the lickspittle females he has hanging around him, who haven't got an intelligent thing to say between any of them. They've got nothing to add, and it makes any economic sense. Don't hang with the Nazis in the EU, or whatever those people are, dictators, with only one intent, to continue what a certain someone, an famous person, started a long time ago, 70 odd years ago, or whatever it is. Not one won't mention the name, it seems to offend people. But the fact Jeremy Corbyn is anti-Semitic, is aligned with Iran, the Marxists of Iran, the Marxist Socialist Islamic Republic of Iran, or whatever, denotes him as someone the British people should no longer trust. What he's doing in British Parliament, I do not know. But he lowers the standard of the debates in British Parliament, and actually lowers the standard of the IQ of the English people just by its existence. Flood in England or any Western country with migrants just because the attraction is the welfare system and welfare state. In the idea of George Soros's idea that we have an open border society. An open border society means what exactly? We're all going to live in Somalia, are we? We're all going to say, oh, well, it's okay, lots of people can come into our countries because we can just go and live in their countries. Well, we know that's damn well impossible. We know that is a corrupt mind working with a conspiracy to bring down the Western democracies, and by certain, very like by PC, which is a program codex, gradually erode and emasculate the will, if they could get away with it, of the Western male by saying anyone who's a Western male is heterosexual, in fact is a toxic male, will count me in as a toxic male. I'm a male, I have masculine toxicity, and I cannot stand the likes of lickspittles like Jeremy Corbyn. With all those feminists who've obviously got this hate for men, for their own serious, they've got a serious psychological problem about men. And that's, so they're jealous of normal women, normal sexy women, so they pick on them and try to make trouble for them, saying, you know, girls in skimpy clothes, there's something wrong with that and that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's called freedom. Because they're not free, and because they work from the Islamic Republic, they want people to cover up, women to cover up. They use the idea that it's to protect and transgender people. Well, you know, I've never heard anything so spurious in all my life. Jeremy Corbyn, he should retire from politics. It brings shame to the British Parliament, shame to the Labour movement, shame to actually, he's not a socialist by any means. He's not a socialist, he's just a ratbag. That's all there is to it. NHS is flooded. England's flooded and crowded with millions of more people than they can handle. Generally caused by the EU and all that nonsense which Britain has escaped from. You can't send all those people back. If it sent all the people who have arrived there under false pretences of needing asylum, caused by wars stirred up by the likes of Obama and all these other people into this plot and this tyranny against the West, then there would not be a shortage of spaces in hospitals, in the places like UK. I don't like Jeremy Corbyn. I can smell him from here. As Clint Eastwood said, there's no more than dog's dirt on my shoes.